people.
Because I can always.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know you were gonna record this conversation.
I don't have to.
Yeah, you got to. Did you
Uh,
start a recording already?
No, it just started. Just like you heard it. You heard the thing. You said nobody gets this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was a glare. So
Oh, that's not
it's fine.
professional, but.
No, it's fine. That shows actually that we've invested some stuff into the business and we're trying to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually we want to do this in a studio, so do you want me to?
Yeah.
Better. Yeah, well.
It's,
So, what were we discussing?
you said something about nobody get that. You really care about people. And
Yeah,
you want
because I
them to-
really
and how
care
you
about the
came up
people
with it.
because there may be a lot of people out there sharing courses,
Mhm.
you see them, one of the, in my opinion, is those candlesticks. I kind of like to make fun of it because, people try to make a science out of all this,
Yeah.
but, not everybody really understands it. And,
Mhm.
if they're trying to read candlesticks, by the time they, select the price, the stock
This is moving.
market, the New York Stock Exchange is constantly moving. We don't have time. Within one complete minute, the prices could go up and down so many times,
Mhm.
So like I said, there may be a lot of people, that has awakened to this trading on the stock market,
Mhm.
but they're not entirely gonna spend the quality time with each individual to make sure that they have reached, income levels of $100,000 monthly. And really is over 100,000, but since people have a difficult time like believing, how real this thing is,
Mhm.
they're skeptical,
Right.
is what I'm saying. Even I myself, like I said in another video, if someone approached me with this and they tell me I can make $100,000 a month.
Mhm.
Well, when I was in the banking business, I made about $100,000 annual. That's like I'm gonna use that example,
Mhm.
in the course, in the video, because $100,000 today for a family of five, and you have a mortgage of about uh, $4,000 to $5,000. If you're living well, I'm referring to, because yeah, you can live a much,
Yeah.
basic life, but one of the things you can control is inflation.
Right.
We don't know, the gas prices could go up like $7 like in California.
Mhm.
And people are getting older, medical
Mhm.
and dental, healthcare
College.
is very expensive.
Mhm.
College is ridiculous. Like people, I shared with you not too long ago what people are paying for college, like 80,000 to just to become, I don't know what this, a lawyer or something like that. But you end up already starting in debt with that job. It is still be a job, like you're working. The mouse in there in the video shows. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But when you enroll in my course, one of those people that do care, which is the reason why I'm offering free additional training, mentoring. You can communicate with me on Facebook. Actually, it's not gonna be Facebook. I'm gonna be setting up a separate group on Viber.
Okay.
I'll have a link on it for the graduates. I was going to use Facebook, but I think it's more personal Viber.
Yeah.
Where you can actually reach out to me
Mhm.
at any time, or as you're doing the course,
Right.
if you have a question, about what you're doing or what you have learned there, the lesson, I can help you with. I want to make sure that you generate $100,000 a month, because I want you to be financially free, because that's a problem worldwide, poverty. Like I said, $100,000 today is less and less of it every year. And who honestly, who wants to buy a 300 to $500,000 home and then pay the banks an enormous amount of interest
Mhm.
for 30 years.
Right.
We already do that with, when we buy a car,
Mhm.
to our credit cards. We're just basically, we don't know this, but, if $450 for this course is too much for you, then you're not ready to invest, because
Yeah.
we waste more than $450 in fees, in interest,
Mhm.
we just basically waste money without even realizing. So
Easy.
imagine that. Have you ever tried calculating all the interest that is paid to a bank when you take out a 30-year mortgage
Enough to
with
buy
a
a
rate of
second.
about, let's say, 6%?
Yeah, enough to buy that property twice. Or
Usually
at
it
least
begins
another.
something like this, like 90% of it is interest,
Yeah,
10%
it's
goes for the
principal.
principal.
Yeah.
But guess what? When you buy a home in a community,
Mhm.
you also pay right,
Yeah.
those kind of fees for the community.
Mhm.
So in essence, you're actually
You're bleeding money.
you're bleeding
Yeah.
money, and then not only that, a home requires maintenance.
Yeah.
And then,
Groceries,
taxes also increases.
Yeah.
So if I recommend you that if you're going to buy a house, it's paid for cash.
Yeah.
Now, you might hear that this is not a good idea from other financial
Mhm.
investors. In my opinion, it is, because I don't know, this is a new lesson and this is not covered
It can be done.
in the Gryso stock trading account, but listen to this very carefully.
Mhm.
If an opportunity while you're trading on the stock market comes up, which requires you to invest $100,000 because it will double your money, like I think you and I have discussed, what was that stock again?
No. The one
Yeah.
APLD applied digital.
APLD, which you could have bought it at 3 and doubled it at 650. No worries, it's okay. Live and learn.
Yeah, I hope we'll do it again.
But where am I going with this? Okay,
Mhm.
you can double your money, right? It requires you to have money at your discretion. So what
Yeah.
happens is, when I advise people to pay for the house cash, first of all, you're saving
Mhm.
all that interest
Over those years.
for 30 years that you don't have to pay the bank.
Yeah.
Yes, in your first home, you can write it off,
Mhm. But you don't worry about it.
but you don't worry about it, because what happens is, now I recommend you to open up a HELOC, home
Yes,
equity
line of
line
credit.
of credit, where you can have
Fill out that
access
form.
to cash
Yeah.
immediately when you get an advance. See, all these money that you
Mhm.
might be dismissing, because every financial investor thinks differently. We all have our different mind.
Mhm.
So I don't expect anyone to take this information, or perhaps maybe you might want to go to some other, but just listen carefully to this.
Yeah.
Before you make a
Strategy.
decision,
Strategy.
I recommend you to do your numbers on an Excel spreadsheet, because those numbers is what's gonna make a decision. We just went over not too long
Yeah.
ago an example. When you have those numbers in front of you,
Yeah.
is those numbers that really trigger in you making the decision
Mhm.
on that. So now you have your HELOC, home equity line of credit,
Mhm.
where you can pull out $100,000. If your house is valued at 500,000,
Mhm.
that you already have 100% equity in the property. So you can easily pull out 100,000 and double it.
Yes.
And
Pay
guess
it
what?
off.
You go in there, double it in 30 days,
Mhm.
pay
it
back your HELOC, and you just made $100,000
Wow. Yeah.
in less than 30 days.
Mhm. Mm.
Is that what you're
Easy.
making at your job?
Not ever. No. Wow. Why do I even go to school?
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not dismissing education, but
Yeah.
go get an education.
If you
Yes,
want
do what you love, but you can still do this on the side.
Mhm.
Generate $100,000 a month. So that you can also help out the less fortunate, your family members, or your children, or secure, your children's financial future.
This
So,
could be your
but
job.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, this should be your job as well too, so now when you go into that auto dealer, I recommend you also to buy, cash, yes, why not? Why pay them for the next 5 years, such an interest rate, you know, and then these are assets that you can say that you kind of like own them because you have no debt. What I'm trying to get to is that
Debt-free lifestyle.
that you have a debt-free lifestyle, Who cares about having write-off? Write-off, as much people think so much about the write-off, and I totally support it.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying, there are other things that you're gonna get involved with
yeah,
that you can write off,
yeah, exactly. Yes.
that's gonna help you,
Mhm. Let me ask you this, you mentioned
Yeah.
something about 50, I don't know if you were done, or you keep going, why you came up with the number 50, because you said something about 50 states and.
Right, 50 states, because, we're living in a world now of over 8 billion people.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that we can find 50,000 people, who really need this, There are many people suffering out there financially, they're really struggling. Like in California, there's an increase in homelessness. So I'm sure I can, train 1,000 people at every state. This way, why I focus in the United States? Because the United States is a multicultural, nation. And what happens is that they will go back to their countries and help out their families living. So in fact, we're able to help out many countries around the world, by people just learning this, being wealthy. I meet people constantly people from Venezuela with what little money that they make, they're trying to send money over to their family relatives in Venezuela to help them out. And I tell them, if there was a way that I can show you how to generate $100,000, would you be able to, to learn this? Would you want to learn this? So yeah, 50,000 people, we can easily find them. Do you have any other questions?
No, I was just wanting to make sure we picked up where you left off, because I don't want you to get lost in your thought. So I wanted to bring that back to your recollection, but.
So I want to say that I'm really, although I have 31 years of experience in the banking industry, I work for 5 investment banks. I'm just an ordinary guy, just like you and me. Except I got sick and tired of hearing, this is the reality. After 31 years in the banking business, I got sick and tired of hearing that the rich get richer and the poor struggle, in this life to stay afloat. They continue to become poor. And one of the differences between the poor and the rich, it's so easy to say the money, they've got the money.
Right.
But it really isn't that. In what I've experienced is that you just like the knowledge. This is the reason why they don't teach this in colleges and university, high school, because they want to make sure that you don't know this, that you remain poor, suppressed by the rich and powerful. This is why I have basically volunteered my time to put a simple course together where people can go step by step and understand the benefits of trading on the stock market. That's what I encourage. So
I love it.
I encourage you to, do this, and, look forward to you to be your mentor, you're training you additionally. I'm actually more excited about this than generating money, because money can always be generated, as you can see, and it's not a brilliant plan. It's really something, that people can easily learn, whether you have a small amount of experience or no experience, or even claim to have a lot of experience, but I'm just a simple guy who just wants to help out the people in the community.
I did have another question. I just thought of it. Pull this up. You mentioned every stock has a common range, 52 year range, 52 week, which is a year range. And I was just looking at the app that you promote
A stock tracker?
Yeah, stock tracker app, and there's this bar on there. It's red, and it goes from red to green. In the middle, it's kind of a mixture. and then it has this little symbol, this little arrow pointing to where
Yeah,
it
that's an
is.
indicator to
Indicator.
see where's the stock prices like now, but it
So,
does have a range. In this example,
mhm.
I see that it's going the year range is from $6 to 10.49.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And it's sitting right somewhere in the middle. So would
right.
this be a good time? Could I use this as an indicator? Is this a good enough time for me to invest in them, or should I
You
wait?
could, but there's many variables to selecting the stock. You
Mhm.
cannot go. I will be the first one to tell you,
Yeah,
don't go by just that
yeah.
indicator. Because
Mhm.
if you're not applying, the techniques of investing, if you're
Mhm.
not using the criteria in selecting the stock, if you're not identifying, where the stock
Checking the
is,
news and all that.
where they are as a business,
Mhm.
you're going to, I guarantee you, if you just go by a visual,
Mhm.
like that, and let that be the reason as to why you're investing in the company, you can definitely lose a lot of
Well,
money.
no, I'm not saying that be the only, but in addition to what you
Yeah.
teach, because I don't know if you
Yeah, that's one of
mentioned.
the indicators that I will be covering in the course. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're going to
okay.
be covering that in the course, additional training actually.
Got you. Okay.
You know,
So I was just, because I did look up the news on this and a few others in my list. I have,
mhm,
a few that I added to my list. I think, I
mhm,
don't know if this is it or not. I think it is. Yep. Sophie, I got this one, CTKB, JetBlue, CRCT, and those, we familiar with these. So I just added those to watch them and see what
mhm.
they do. But, I like visuals, we go over the numbers. I did check the news, what was current events that's going on with them. And, I think their performance is good, but in helping you to make a decision, because it kind of shows you where you have
Yeah,
room to
right. That's a
squeeze out.
snapshot
Yeah, it's
that
a
it
snapshot.
lets us
Yeah.
know, but from a visual point of view, when I look
Mhm.
at this
Yeah.
and I'm looking at, the peak of 10.49, I myself asked her how many times did it go to
Mm-hmm.
10.49?
Okay.
Because it could have
Yep.
just been there just only
One
once, and you're
time.
not gonna see that. So the
Yeah.
true range might be from $7 all the way to, from maybe 6.50 to $7.
Yeah.
It's just
Commonly
maintaining
common.
itself,
That
within that
all
range.
the time. Yeah.
So there's a lot more to just that. That's just a visual indicator that lets me know it's like, wow, it has the potential to go up to 10.49. So it's
Yeah.
something that's worth looking at. If that little black line is showing more towards the $6, that
Mm-hmm.
I see that I have the potential of making a gain of $2. But that's not going to be my final decision.
Yeah.
I'll have to look more into it.
Okay.
And all this is covered on the course.
There you have it, folks. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to just help me come to a decision quicker. So I wanted to ask that just to train myself not to make a rookie mistake that I don't need to make by limiting, myself to information that I should be paying attention to. But we're good here.
Well, again, once again is Gryso, sta.podia.com.
All right,
I
sounds
encourage
good.
everyone to get ready because it's coming out on October the 1st.
And in that, there are links to the Facebook group as well as the Instagram page and the YouTube page as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, guys.